Hey you, if you're watching this, chances are you've been feeling anxious, confused, and maybe even lost in life right now because you don't have a full-time job. And I want you to know, I've been there. I've gone through every single stage of that anxiety, and today I'm in a much better place. In this video, I want to share my raw experience of how I overcame unemployment anxiety. My hope is that if you are going through the same thing, some of this can bring you comfort or guidance. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Evian. I am a product designer and I've been working remotely for years. Recently, I've gone full-time freelance. Earlier this year, I quit my full-time remote job because it was really affecting my health. After that, I decided to rest for 2 months. I didn't immediately jump into freelancing because honestly, I was still debating whether I should give full-time job another chance. I mean, let's be real, full-time jobs do have stability and in my field, the salaries can be quite lucrative. So after my little break, I started job searching again, and that's when reality hit me. One day, I came across a job posting for a remote product designer role. It looked perfect, so I applied. But here's where things got quite interesting. They asked candidates to apply via GitHub. And since GitHub is open source, I could totally see every other applicant's information, their resumes, their portfolios, all publicly visible. And what I saw, honestly, it was shocking. Thousands of people had applied for this one position. Many were people more senior than me with impressive experience, all fighting for this single role. And the craziest part is, months later, the job post was still up and people were still applying. That moment was eye-opening for me because it made me realize no wonder so many of my applications went unanswered. It's not necessarily about me, it's just a very brutal, oversaturated market. And I don't know if you felt this too. You apply, you wait, you hope, and then nothing. Ghosted it again and again. And after a while, it starts eating away at you. So what did I do? How did I deal with the anxiety that came with all of this? Here are the 5 things that helped me overcome unemployment anxiety. First, stop the endless applying cycle. Literally, stop. And first, I thought the solution was to just apply harder, send out more resumes, check LinkedIn every hour, but honestly, it only made things worse. I would spend the entire day just applying, refreshing job boards, stalking LinkedIn posts, and it really drained me. It created this constant sense of panic. What helped me was setting boundaries. I told myself I get 30 minutes a day for job searching, that's it. After that, I close LinkedIn or whatever job boards I'm on and I move on. Because of the truth is, sending 20 applications a day doesn't guarantee results. It only increases your anxiety. And if you are in this cycle, please don't burn yourself out. Be intentional. Apply, yes, but just don't make it your whole day. Number 2, understand the deeper feelings behind the anxiety. I realized at some point that my anxiety wasn't really just about money. It went deeper than that. I had this belief that if I didn't have a full-time job, then I had no value. Like, I was basically useless. And that thought wrecked me. Even though I was still working on freelance projects, I kept telling myself, this doesn't count. You're still a failure without a full-time job. That mindset was so toxic that I couldn't sleep, I lost my appetite, I skipped meals. My whole life felt like I was falling apart around this one thing. Eventually, my anxiety got to a point where I couldn't handle it by myself anymore, so I sought therapy. And that was when my therapist introduced me to the idea of self-compassion. So I started reading this book, Self-Compassion, The Proven Power of Being Kind to Yourself by Christine Neff. And one passage really left me speechless. Let me read this to you. Insecurity, anxiety, and depression are incredibly common in our society, and much of this is due to self-judgment, to beating ourselves up when we feel we aren't winning in the game of life. That hit me so hard. So basically, we judge ourselves because we are self-critics. And if we look more deeply, we see that harsh self-criticism is often used as a cover for the desire for control. And that is basically anti the whole human experience. Instead of trying to control ourselves and our lives to obtain a perfectionistic ideal, why not embrace life as it is? Both light and the shadow. You never know what adventures might follow if we free ourselves in this way. Another key idea from the book was about shared human experience. It says, when our troubled, painful experiences are framed by the recognition that countless others have undergone similar hardships, the blow is softened. The pain still hurts, but it doesn't become compounded by the feelings of separation. That was another turning point for me, realizing that what I was going through wasn't just mine. It's part of being human. And that recognition softened the pain because it meant I wasn't broken or alone. I was simply going through something that so many people before me had also survived. Number 3, redefine what work means. I had to learn this the hard way. For the longest time, I believed the real work was a full-time corporate job, that anything else was lesser. But here's the truth, a full-time job is not the only path to stability or success. You can freelance, you can consult, you can take on part-time gigs, you can even start your own business. Sometimes we're so locked into this ladder, junior, senior, director, then we forgot life doesn't always work in straight lines. Life is water, not stones. It flows, it changes directions. And honestly, the world is changing too. Companies lay people off, AI is disrupting industries, younger, cheaper talent enters the market every day. Nothing is as stable as we thought. So instead of clinging to the idea that only a full-time job counts, I started asking myself, what do I actually want? What kind of work makes me feel alive? That mindset shift from scarcity to possibility was huge for me. Number 4, build small routines and give you control. Anxiety makes you feel powerless, like you're just waiting for someone else to choose you. So one thing that really helped me was building routines that I could control. For me, that was exercise. I thought, okay, maybe I don't have a full-time job right now, but at least I can build the best physical health of my life. I started going to the gym more regularly, I moved my body, and it made such a difference. Exercise releases endorphins, it clears your head and gives you small wins every day. It doesn't have to be the gym, it could be a daily walk, could be journaling, cooking lunch, practicing a hobby. The point is, routines remind you that you do have control over certain parts of your life, even when jobs feel out of reach. Number 5, surround yourself with inspiration. Finally, I cannot stress this enough, pay attention to who you are listening to. When I was drowning in anxiety, I started watching YouTubers, entrepreneurs, people who build businesses from zero, creators who shared their own struggles. I listened to podcasts, I read blogs, I surrounded myself with voices that inspired me. And little by little, that motivation rubbed off on me. Instead of comparing myself to thousands of anonymous applicants, I started looking at real people who carved their own paths. It reminded me of what's possible. It also gave me courage to keep going. So if you're in this season right now, please remember, unemployment doesn't define you. It's not the end, it's just a chapter. For me, that chapter eventually led to full-time freelancing. And eventually, I've been embracing this new way of living after 8 years in corporate. If you are curious of what that looks like, I made a whole video about life after quitting my 9-to-5. I'll link it here. Sending you lots of love, and I hope this video reminded you that you are not alone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.